Hey guys, Richard again. Today in this video is now part 11 on the Chevrolet Corvette. So, sorry if I just cut off at the from continuing on, just because I got a call. Don't really want to talk about it, but I had to pick up the call because it was important. So, sorry if I did not continue on, but I'm back right now. So let's continue on to where we left off to. So we're on 1978. 46,776 cars were done. 25th anniversary, new fastback, rear window, silver anniversary, and Indy 500 pace car special editions. Pace car included sports seats and spoilers, front and rear, limited option glass T-tops, redesigned interior, dash instruments. The biggest engine was the L82 350 V8 with 220 horsepower, so a little bit up in power, but still not as much. Next was 1979. 53,807 of those were done. Sports seats from the previous year's pace car, front and rear, so front and rear spoilers optional, glass T-tops optional, new interior comfort features. Highest Corvette sales year to date. L82 had 225 horsepower. Next was 1980, so the start of the early 80s. 40,614 were done. Lightened materials, new hood, front end with molded spoilers, rear bumper cover with molded spoiler, and new taillights. Federal government required 137 km/h, 85-mile-an-hour speed limit. California cars powered by 305 V8 and automatic gearbox for this year only. Last year for L82, 350 with 230 horsepower is naturally aspirated with a manual gearbox. So they had to make 40,614 of those cars in 1980. Now we got 1981. Say 1981. 40,606 of those were made. Production is switched from St. Louis to new Bowling Green plant. 5.7 liter, 350 cubic inch V8 returns in California cars last year for manual gearbox. The only available engine was the L81 350 V8 with 190 horsepower. So yeah, one day I'll move to California one day. Presumably. I don't know, but some point I will. Now I got 1982. 25,400 so 1982, 25,407 of those were done. New Crossfire fuel injected L83 350 V8 with 200 horsepower. New automatic overdrive gearbox. Collector's edition features an exclusive hatch rear window. Is 1/4 of production, so it's 25% of production. Now we got 1983. So they made only 43 of those. This model year was canceled, and all Corvettes produced this year were serialized as 1984 models. Featured L69 HO305s with 200 horsepower. So done in 1983. Next up is the fourth generation. So this is 1984. 1984, 51,547 of those were done. So this is where the fourth generation begins. This is a hatchback body, digital instrumentation, L83 350 V8 continued from 1982, but this time with 205 horsepower instead of the L69. Now I got 1985. 39,720. So 1985, 39,729. More powerful and fuel efficient L98 350 V8 engine introduced with 230 horsepower. Now we got 1986. They made 35,109. First convertible since 1975. Third brake light, anti-lock brakes, and key code anti-theft system are new. The L98 350 continued with 230 horsepower. Then we got 1987. They made 30,632 of those. Callaway twin turbo offered through dealers with GM, General Motors warranty. The L98 350 had 240 horsepower. So in the C4, named after an explosive device. I wonder how powerful C4 explosives are. I've heard of it before, but like, I'm just saying. Now we got 1988. So they made 22,789 of those cars. So new wheel design, all white, 35th anniversary, special edition coupe or coupe. The L98 350 continued with 240 horsepower. So we're still on the C4. Now we got 1989. So this one, so they made 26,412 of those back in 1989. So it has a ZF 6-speed manual, replaces the Doug Nash 4x3 transmission. Now we got 1990. 23,646 were done. 01 is introduced with DOHC dual overhead cam LT5 V8 engine. The interior was redesigned to incorporate a driver's side airbag. Now we got 1991. So they made 20,639 of those cars. Restyled interior last year for the Callaway B2K twin turbo setup or system, whatever you want to call it. Now we got 1992. 20,479 were done. New LT1 engine replaces the L98 traction control as standard. So that's done in 1992. Now we're on 1993. 21,590 passive keyless entry is standard. 40th anniversary special edition in ruby red. Next up is 1994. 23,330 were done. New interior including passenger airbag, LT1 engine. So LT1 engine gains mass airflow. So mass airflow metered SFI. Next up is 1995. 20,742 were done. Last year of the 01 minor exterior restyling Indy Pace Car Special Edition. Now we got 1996. 21,536 were done. Optional LT4 engine with 330 horsepower, Collector's Edition and Grand Sport Special Editions. First year with OBD, so onboard diagnostics 2, or OBD2 diagnostics. Next up is 1997. So this is where the 5th generation begins. So yeah, so they made only 9,752 of those. So this is now where the 5th generation begins, the C5. LS1 engine is new. The hatchback coupe is the only body style offered. So that 1997 is done. Now we got 1998. 31,084 were done. Convertible C5 debuts with the first trunk in a Corvette convertible since 1962. Indy 500 pace car replica offered. Active handling system introduced as optional equipment. Now we got 1999. 33,270 were done. Less expensive hardtop coupe is offered. Now we got the year 2000. 33,682 were done with newly styled alloy wheels as a debut. Or it might have been debuted, I don't know. Now we got 2001 with the C5. So they made only 2001 for the C5, they made 35,627 of those cars. Hardtop coupe body style becomes top performance Z06, utilizing the new LS6 engine and suspension improvements. Second gen active handling system is standard equipment on all models, slightly increasing base model engine power by 5 horsepower. Then we got 2002 with 35,767. So 35,767 were complete back in 2002. 20 horsepower increase for the Z06 to 405 horsepower. So it went from 385 to 405 horsepower. Doesn't sound as much, but at least it's a bit of a better increase than before. Now we got 2003. They made 35,469 of those cars. 50th anniversary edition package offered for both coupe and convertible base models. F55 magnetic selective ride control suspension supersedes F45 selective ride control suspension as base. So supersedes F45 selective ride control suspension as base model option. Now we got 2004. They made 34,064 of those cars. 24 hours of Le Mans commemorative edition package offered for all models. Now we got 2005. They made 37,000. So 2005, the year I was born. 37,372 of those cars are done. So this is where the sixth generation begins. The C6 Corvette. New body is first with fixed headlights since 1962. No 06 model and a late convertible introduction. Now we got 2006. They made 34,021 of those cars. 06 debuts with a 6-speed automatic with paddle shifters, available on non-06 models. Now we got 2007 with 40,561 of those were done. So 40,561 were complete back in 2007. 6-speed automatic paddle shift delays are reduced drastically compared to 2006. Now we got 2008. They made 35,310 of those cars. Mild freshing LS3. So LS3 introduced all leather interior added for like the 4LT and the LZ3. Then we got 2009. 16,956 were done. 01 model added new spider wheels for 06. Then we got 2010 with 12,190. So 12,194. Grand Sport Coupe, so both the Grand Sport Coupe and convertible are added. Replaces the Z51 performance package, launch controls standard on MN6 models. So we're on a C6. So now we got 2011. 13,596 were done. Wheel choices are updated. Larger cross-drilled brake rotors or discs. 13.4 inch at the front, and 13.4 inch at the front and 12.8 inch at the rear. So the brakes at the front were 0.6 inches bigger than the ones in the rear. Available on both coupe and convertible models, or included with F55 magnetic selective ride control. 07 performance package introduced. So 07 performance package introduced for 06. So that's for a C6 version. 2011. 13,596 were done. Then we got 2012. Say 2012. Say 2012 we're on. 11,647 were done. Upgraded interior and new tires on the base model. 06 acquires a full-length rear wing and a carbon fiber hood as options. 01 gets adjusted gears for better fuel economy. 01 performance package introduced. 06 performance package tweaked with new wheels. Now we got my most favorite year of all, 2013. 13,466 were complete. Introduction of 427 convertible model with a limited production run of 2,552 427 units, 9 months production run. Now I got 2014. So this is where the 7th generation begins, which is also my dream Corvette, the C7. I like that one. So you're on 2014, 37,288. So now is where the 7th generation begins, the C7 Corvette. All new styling, chassis, and drivetrain. LT1, 6.2 liter, 376 cubic inch V8 has 455 horsepower, but you can, for a bit more money if you wish, you can get up to 460 horsepower with the performance. So you can get up to 460 horsepower, so an extra 5 horsepower more with a performance exhaust. Now we're on the C7 Corvette. So now we're on 2015. So they made 34,240 of those cars. The C7 06 debuts. So C7 06 debuts with LT4 6.2 liter V8 that has 650 horsepower. It even has an 8L90 8-speed automatic gearbox offered in all models. Now we got 2016. They made 40,689 of those cars. Say on 2016, say 2016, they made 40,689 of those cars. Now we got 2017. They made 32,782 of those cars. The C7 Grand Sport was introduced with the LT1 in a Z06 body and chassis. Now we got 2018. They made 9,686 of those cars. Now we got 2019. So this one, they had 34,822 of those vehicles. So in 2019, 34,822. The C701 was introduced with a LT5 6.2 liter 376 cubic inch V8 that had 755 horsepower. So it's 2019 done. Now we're on to pretty much the worst year, 2020. But this takes place with the new Corvette, the C8. So now we're on 2020. So they made 20,368 of those cars. So this is where the 8th generation begins, the C8. New chassis and body is... I'll be back.